everyone, welcome back to Actual Talk. My name is Jennifer Clyde. It is time for lesson 57. Are you ready for it? Well, today's topic is internet and mobile banking. Now, when it comes to banking, what do you first think of? Of course, you think of money, saving lots of money, perhaps even bank accounts, wiring money to another person or a company, making transactions. Now, I just mentioned wire. Now, of course, we are not talking about the object as in a noun, but you can also wire money to somebody. And in that case, it would be used as a verb. Okay, so it means to send. You can wire money many different ways, okay, electronically as well. Anyhow, let's focus on internet and mobile banking today. All right, if you're ready, let's get started.
Speaking of ATMs, do you transfer money at ATMs or where do you do that?
Oh, no, I don't do that. I prefer to go inside to an actual teller and get that stuff done. Mm-hmm. But I do online banking.
Okay, me too.
Yeah.
It's really convenient here.
Really convenient. So what do you usually do online?
I pay employees, I send out bills, pay for all my bills. Actually, a lot of them come out automatically, but the ones that don't, it's very easy to send it.
Exactly, but I got a smartphone recently, and people have been telling me about this mobile banking thing.
You know, I've heard a lot about it too, and I've seen people make big transfers on their phone and stuff, but I haven't figured it out yet.
I feel uneasy about sending large amounts of money on my smartphone. I mean, it is convenient with the mobile application to have text messages sent to you whenever something's withdrawn from your account, or if something comes in, so you're notified of when your bank, check
when you finally get paid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, sending large transactions on your mobile phone.
I think it'd be pretty much safe as long as you don't lose your phone often. Mm-hmm. But there's always that part of you that worries about that. I think if you have good security codes and whatnot, it will probably help.
Would you recommend mobile banking? I mean, have you tried it before personally?
I haven't figured out how to do it yet because you have to get certain encrypted codes onto your phone. And I just managed to get that done on my computer, but also a lot of it's not available in English yet. I think it's best to take these things a step at a time.
So you were talking about English. So online, you use the English services?
Yeah, there is one available in English.
Do you have any, are there any tellers that provide services in English?
Not that I know of.
So online banking would be the preferred method of transactions for you?
Yeah.
Welcome back, everyone. Did you enjoy the actual talk conversation between Peter and Joanne? Well, of course, when it comes to banking, we can definitely think about all the topics or the subjects I just mentioned before having a listen to the talk. But as Joanne and Peter were mentioning in their conversation, you can send money also, right? Withdraw money, not only at the bank, but also at ATMs. You can do so with your mobile phones, with your smartphones, and choose to do that many other ways as well. So let's check out what they usually do, how they usually send, transfer, or wire money. Okay, here, let's take a look. Now, Peter says, speaking of ATMs. Now, when you say speaking of something, you have to realize that these people or the person is probably talking about a topic they have been talking about earlier, okay? So it's a very natural way of continuing a conversation. Speaking of ATMs, since we are talking about ATMs, since we're on the topic of ATMs, do you transfer money at ATMs, or where do you do that? So Peter is asking Joanne, where do you usually or how do you transfer money? Transfer here is, of course, used in the verb form. It means to send. Now, you may have noticed I stressed the second syllable, transfer. Transfer. It means it is a verb. So speaking of ATMs, which is short for automated teller machines, Do you send money, transfer money at ATMs, or where do you do that? How do you do that? Joanne says, I prefer to go to an actual teller. Now, what is a teller? A teller could be a person that tells a story, right? But a teller or a bank teller is a person that usually works at a bank employee who you would normally go to the bank to pay your bills, so to give money or to receive money. The person over the counter, all right? But she says, but I do online banking. So here we have two do's. Okay, that is not a mistake. The first do is just a way of stressing it. Okay, so I'll read it to you one more time. I do online banking. I do online banking. You're stressing that you do online banking. So Peter says, me too. It's really convenient here, meaning in Korea. Joanne says, so what do you usually do online? Let's check out what Peter usually does online. He says, I pay employees, okay? He pays them. I send out bills, okay? What is a bill? Here we have B-I-L-L-S. So we're not only talking about one bill, but several bills. A bill can mean maybe paper money, but in this case, we're talking about statements. We often get bills and we have to pay our bills, such as electricity bills. So that's what he does. Or, I pay for all my bills. Okay, Peter did mention for, but that can be omitted. Okay, you could say, I pay my bills. All right, so that's what he does. Peter pays his employees and he also pays bills online. Now, Joanne says, I got a smartphone recently. And people have been telling me about mobile banking. Okay. Now, Peter says, I've heard a lot about it too, and I've seen people make big transfers on their phone, but I haven't figured it out yet. Now, that is a long sentence, but let's check it out. Now, the beginning is quite easy. I've heard a lot about it too, and I've seen people. He has witnessed people doing it. I've seen people make big transfers. In this case, the stress would go there, okay? And it means it is used in the noun form. Okay, people make transfers. People make big transfers, meaning people send lots of money, okay, on their phone, but I haven't figured it out yet. As you see, it's underlined. Figure something out. If you have not figured something out, you have no clue about it. You don't have an understanding about it. So he's saying, I'm still confused about how to do that. Okay? Moving on, Joanne says, I feel uneasy about sending large amounts of money on my smartphone. Let's take a look at this sentence. Now, she feels how? She feels uneasy. Uneasy is a way of maybe expressing anxiousness. Okay, if you're not comfortable, if you're anxious about something, you can say you feel uneasy about something. About what? Sending large amounts of money. Okay, sending lots of money on my smartphone. You can say with my smartphone or on my smartphone. But it is convenient to have text messages sent to you. Whenever something is withdrawn, which means to be taken out from your account, or if something comes in, means when money is deposited into your account. So she's saying, yeah, it's very convenient, especially because we get, or I get text messages sent to me. Now, whenever something is withdrawn, so whenever money is taken out of my account, or if something comes in, or whenever money is deposited into my account. All right. Now, Peter says, I think it would be safe. It would is shortened to it'd. It'd. I think it'd be safe as long as you don't lose your phone. Often, he says. Now, so Joanne says, would you recommend mobile banking? Now, the word here is mobile, which can be pronounced two ways. You can say mobile or mobile. Mobile phone, mobile phone. Mobile banking, mobile banking, okay? So she says, would you recommend mobile banking? I mean, have you tried it before? Personally, okay? Now, what did Peter say? He says, I haven't figured out how to do it yet. So we've got figure out. One more time. We'll practice that expression later on. So he's saying what? I'm not so sure about how to use it. I don't understand it fully because you have to get certain encrypted codes onto your phone. We'll take a look at this word later on as well, but encrypted. If something is encrypted, it means that it is encoded, in code form, okay? I just managed to get that done. How? On my computer. You can transfer money on your phone. You can do something on your computer as well. But he says, but a lot of it's not available in English yet. Okay, and he says, I think it's best to take these things a step at a time. Now, to take something a step at a time, what does that mean? Now, imagine taking baby steps, taking little steps, one step after another. It means to take things very, very slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Taking baby steps, okay? So he's saying, I think it's best to do it slow. Learn about things slowly and clearly, okay? Step by step. So Joanne says, so online, you use the English services. You may have noticed, that's right, it was taken up, so it's a question. So she's saying, so online, you use the English services? And Peter says, yeah, there is one available in English, he says. All right, moving on. Now Joanne says, are there any tellers? Once again, we're talking about several people, bank employees, right, that provide services in English. And Peter says, not that I know of. So I guess he's saying that he has not met a bank teller that provides service in English as of now. Not yet. So Joanne says, so online banking would be the preferred method of transactions for you. And of course, Peter ends by saying yes. So we can tell that Joanne is a bit uneasy. She feels a bit uneasy, especially sending large amounts of money online. So she prefers to go to the bank herself and, has the teller do it for her. Whereas Peter says, he's used to, or he prefers to make transactions on his phone or online banking. Okay, that is today's actual talk. Let's have a listen one more time.
Speaking of ATMs, do you transfer money at ATMs or where do you do that?
Oh, no, I don't do that. I prefer to go inside to an actual teller and get that stuff done. But I do online banking.
Okay, me too.
Yeah.
It's really convenient here.
Really convenient. So what do you usually do online?
I pay employees, I send out bills, pay for all my bills. Actually, a lot of them come out automatically, but the ones that don't, it's very easy to send it.
Exactly, but I got a smartphone recently, and people have been telling me about this mobile banking thing.
You know, I've heard a lot about it too, and I've seen people make big transfers on their phone and stuff, but I haven't figured it out yet.
I feel uneasy about sending large amounts of money on my smartphone. I mean, it is convenient with the mobile application to have text messages sent to you whenever something's withdrawn from your account, or if something comes in, so you're notified of when your bank, check.
When you finally get paid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But sending large transactions on your mobile phone.
I think it'd be pretty much safe as long as you don't lose your phone often. But there's always that part of you that worries about that. I think if you have good security codes and whatnot, it will probably help.
Would you recommend mobile banking? I mean, have you tried it before personally?
I haven't figured out how to do it yet
Oh,
because you have
okay.
to get certain encrypted codes onto your phone. And I just managed to get that done on my computer, but also a lot of it's not available in English yet. I think it's best to take these things a step at a time.
So you were talking about English. So online, you use the English services?
Yeah, there is one available in English.
Okay. Do you have any, like, are there any tellers that provide services in English?
Not that I know
So
of.
online banking would be the preferred method of transactions for you?
Yeah.
Okay, everyone, I hope you fully understood the actual talk conversation. Now let's move on to actual expressions. Some vocab first, and then we've got the expressions ready for you. So as you see, we have 4 words for you. The first one is teller. Teller, that's right. A teller is what? A bank employee who usually receives or gives money to you over the counter, okay? Another word for teller would be a cashier as well. You wouldn't necessarily call a bank teller a cashier, but a cashier and a teller, they're quite similar, okay? Now, bill, as I mentioned, is very close to a debt or a check, but most of all, a statement. It's usually in written form, usually on paper. I guess we do get bills through our email as well these days. It's become very convenient. But as I mentioned, we all have to pay bills such as our electricity bills, utility bills, and so forth and so on. Okay? What about encrypt? Encrypt. In the dialogue, that's right, was encrypted code. The pronunciation is encrypt, so the stress goes on the second syllable. Let's do it 2 times. Encrypt. Encrypt. It basically means encode. That's a synonym, okay, to be coded. So if you say encrypt, it's basically a message or even data that is coded or in code form. Got it? Okay, and one last word here is transaction. Now, there are 2 ways to pronounce it. With an S pronunciation, so it's transaction, or I would say even more commonly, it is pronounced with a Z sound. So, transaction. Transaction. A transaction simply would be any kind of business, okay, that deals with money. All right, let's move on to some patterns for all of us to practice from today's dialogue. The first one is transfer money at or with something. Now, I do stress one more time. Now, where would the stress go on the transfer here? On the first syllable or the second syllable? That's right, it is a verb in this case, so the stress would go on the second syllable. Transfer, transfer. Here is a sample sentence. I usually transfer money at a bank. Okay, where do you do it? At a certain location. I usually transfer money at a bank. Good job. The next one is, I transfer money, here we go one more time, with my smartphone. So if you transfer money with a device, okay, you can say it with or on as well. I transfer money with my smartphone, or I transfer money on my smartphone. You can also transfer money on your computer. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Figure something out, or even figure somebody out, someone out. As I did mention, or in today's actual talk, I think they were talking about not having figured something out yet. And it means that you don't have a clear understanding of something. So here are some sample sentences to help you understand how to use figure something out. Now, what about this one? I haven't figured out my new laptop. I haven't figured out my new laptop. Now, how to use can be included or omitted as well. But what does the sentence mean? If somebody says, I haven't figured out my new laptop, it means I don't really know how to use my laptop. Okay? So one more time, I haven't figured out my new laptop. What about this one? You can also use it with a person, right? You can say, it took me several months to figure somebody out. Okay. It also means to understand in this case. So if you say, it took me several months to figure her out, means it took me several months to finally understand what kind of person she is. Or it took me several months to finally, realize what kind of person she was. Okay? All right, then here we go with feel uneasy about, verb plus ing form, all right? Here are some sample sentences. Here we go with the first one. I always feel uneasy about swimming in the ocean. Okay, feel uneasy means what? You feel uncomfortable. You feel anxious about something, nervous about something. All right? I always feel uneasy about swimming in the ocean. I actually love water. I love beaches and I love to swim. I guess I could say I'm a pretty good swimmer, but I do feel uneasy about swimming in the ocean, especially in the deep ocean. I tried scuba diving recently, actually. I was a bit nervous in the beginning, but it was quite fun. So I did feel a little uneasy in the beginning, but later on, I felt much more comfortable swimming under the water. Okay, here we go with one more sentence. You can ask someone this question. Do you feel uneasy about leaving the kids home alone? Okay, let's practice it one more time. Do you feel uneasy about leaving the kids home alone? Perhaps, let's say for example, you and your friends or you and your family, you and anyone, you have dinner plans and you have to leave your kids at home alone. There's nobody to watch them or take care of them. Then perhaps somebody can ask you this question. Do you feel uneasy about leaving the kids at home or leaving the kids home alone? If you feel comfortable, you can say, no, it's not a problem. If you do feel nervous about leaving them home alone, you can say, yeah, I do feel a bit uneasy about it. Okay, everyone, that was our actual expressions. Hope you enjoyed it.
So where I'm from, the online banking is pretty popular. Most people do online banking now. But mobile banking isn't really done so much. It's kind of viewed as it might not be as safe, and so people don't feel as comfortable putting their bank information or credit card information on their phones. But when I came to Korea, I saw everyone was doing it. You're using your phone for T-money, you're using your phone for banking, for transfer, for everything. So after I was able to get my alien registration card, I did the same. So now that I'm able to do the bank transfer and everything just from my phone, I realized it's really convenient. But I realized through the setting up system of getting my phone set up for that kind of thing, that it's actually really secure. I had to do so many different passwords, sometimes with capitals, sometimes without capitals, with the different exclamation marks and all that kind of thing. So it definitely seems like it's pretty secure here.
Now today we had a chance to listen to Kayla telling us about what she feels about online banking. What did she say? She said that where she's from, online banking is quite popular, it's quite common, so a lot of people do online banking, but not as many people do mobile banking. Now why? As for Kayla, she mentioned that she feels a bit nervous or uneasy about, entering her personal information on the computer or on the internet, but I think mobile banking and online banking are very similar. That's what I think. Anyhow, let's check out what she mentioned. She says, where I'm from, from my home country. Okay, back home is another way of saying it. Where I'm from, online banking is pretty popular. Okay, so that's simple. You can begin talking about online banking, how you feel about it, by mentioning this. Where I'm from, online banking is pretty popular. It's quite popular. The next one. People don't feel as comfortable putting their bank information or credit card information on their phones. That's right. Personal information such as your bank information, your credit card information, your social security number. Yeah, that's all information that you want to keep to yourself. Anyhow, she says she does not feel comfortable. She feels uneasy about putting or entering or keeping bank information or credit card information where? On their phones. Okay, so not only her, but people in her home country feel uncomfortable about doing that. What about this one? She says, now that I'm able to do bank transfers and everything with my phone or on my phone, I realize it's really convenient. Okay, so now that she knows how to do it, okay, how to do what? Do bank transfers with her phone or on her phone, she thinks it's very convenient, okay? Now, let's move on to the very last sentence. I realized through this setup system. What did she realize? That it's actually really secure. That's right. I think because you have to enter lots of codes, including your passcode or password, and lots of other information, people realize that online banking or mobile banking especially is actually quite secure. So she says once again, I realized through the setup system, meaning after I tried out the setup system, I actually realized that it's pretty secure. Okay, job well done.
So where I'm from, the online banking is pretty popular. Most people do online banking now. But mobile banking isn't really done so much. It's kind of viewed as it might not be as safe, and so people don't feel as comfortable putting their bank information or credit card information on their phones. But when I came to Korea, I saw everyone was doing it. You're using your phone for T-money, you're using your phone for banking, for transfer, for everything. So after I was able to get my alien registration card, I did the same. So now that I'm able to do the bank transfer and everything just from my phone, I realized it's really convenient. But I realized through the setting up system of getting my phone set up for that kind of thing, that it's actually really secure. I had to do so many different passwords, sometimes with capitals, sometimes without capitals, with the different exclamation marks and all that kind of thing. So it definitely seems like it's pretty secure here.
Well, of course, there are several transaction methods, and it's up to you to choose how to transfer money, whether to go to an actual bank and ask the bank teller or the teller to do everything for you. You can also choose to do online banking, mobile banking, or, of course, bank with your smartphones or on your smartphones. There are many, many different ways you can choose from. Anyhow, I think security, meaning safety, is very, very important no matter what you do. But everyone, remember to keep your personal information to yourselves, everyone. And remember, safety is the most important thing. You want to keep your money, right? Okay, well, that is all for today. I'll be joining you again next time with another bank-related topic. Next time, let's talk about opening a bank account. It'll be lots of fun, so please do join me again. In the meantime, come to our homepage, find your way over to www.ebse.co.kr and just look for Actual English. Okay, everyone, I'll catch you again next time. Bye for now.